good evening. I'm Don Kreitzweiser. Jake just said out in the hallway, "You ready?" And I said, frankly, no. If I don't have a camera in my hand, I feel really uncomfortable in front of people. So if you notice I brought my camera up, so if you see me do this, it's just because you're making me nervous. Camera in hand, I can go wherever I want to go. I'm Don Kreitzweiser. I'm a photographer. I'm going to spend just a couple minutes tonight telling you about the power of image. We all spend, forgot about our cameras. That's a problem. We all spend an inordinate amount of time online. Yeah. Now, not an inappropriate amount of time necessarily, but certainly a lot of time online. And I think if you're being effective in your marketing, you're doing what you need to do to market what you do, then all these things we talked about, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all of that, kind of becomes your downtime go-to activity. Is that right? Does anybody else wake up first thing in the morning and log on? Check in, you can show a hand if that happens, yeah. It's okay, tell me how it works. Does anyone else update at stoplights? Yeah, you don't have to answer for that one. Oh, hey, that's why that's blinded me. Log on, check in, it's kind of become the new brush your teeth. It's just kind of what we do every day. It just becomes part of our everyday fabric. And I'm not here, my job tonight isn't to tell you yay or nay, or to sway one way or the other. I'll leave that to the young guys out here that have already spoken. But my job tonight is to, given that you do check in online a lot and that you have an online presence, my job is to give you a few tools. I'm going to give you 4 things to make you a little more effective. Slideshow coming up. I'm going to give you 4 things that you can use every day. The first one I want to talk about is your profile picture. And this one you don't use every day. Obviously, this is the one that you use most often, perhaps. Here's the scenario. You have something that you do, your business. Yours is a not-for-profit, but still, I remember from that room, right?
Association.
Nice. You love what you do. I love what you do. You need me to know what you do. And so the first thing I do after we make a contact is I go check you out. I go look at your images. I go look at what you do. Okay? And you're at the beach, and you have a son and a daughter, and they're lovely daughter and a lovely son. And this is you at the beach, but it's really just about you, not about your lovely daughter. And so you cut that daughter off. But you still have a son, but it's not really about your son, and so you cut the son off. And that's your profile picture. Have you seen that before? Have you seen that picture at the beach? Okay, maybe it's just me, but no, don't do that. Okay, so profile picture. I think if I were to say anything, make the profile picture count. Now, obviously as a photographer, if you need to hire that done, then do it. But make it count. Make that professional, presentable, and a good, honest image. Okay, so make your profile picture count is the first thing I want to tell you about. The next one is rule of thirds. I want to use the images on this, right? Your third one. Please, that one.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool, yeah. Rule of thirds, divide any image plane that you have. Oh, nice. Into thirds. Actually, it's off the bottom. That should be a third, but you get the point. Horizontal lines and vertical lines, yeah, almost. Everywhere that these lines intersect are called power points. And the parallel lines are called power lines as well. If you put an image, if you put what you want me to see on either those parallel lines, the lines, or on the PowerPoints, my eye is going to go there. It's called a rule of thirds. It's a rule. I don't know why it works, but it works. Show me the next. Yeah, show me the next slide. So there's an image, and then pop the next one, and you'll see how that's in that rule of third area. PowerPoint, parallel. Okay, I think the next one is another image. Pretty image. And obviously this one's pretty obvious. Pop the next. You'll see the PowerPoints in play. So this is just something. This isn't something just for photographers. I mean, it's something that you can use in your everyday pictures, because your profile picture, yes, make that done professionally. But if you're just anything you're photographing, these are some principles that you can apply to your everyday photography. So rule of thirds, and I think is there another? Back it up one. Go to blank screen. We'll talk about that guy in a minute. Back it up again.
I'm trying.
Get rid of that one.
The third.
The next principle I want to talk to you about is compression. Actually, I don't need an image for this one. This one's kind of cool. Compression. Anybody ever heard of photographic compression? Anybody? Yeah? Nice? Okay. Back me up on this, all right? The ability to move the foreground and background. This is probably the wrong room to give you this analogy. Seriously. Cut that. Put your hand in front of that. This is probably the wrong room to give you this analogy, but it really does work. You guys have seen, well, not you guys, you women, and if you guys have seen baseball games. Let me tell you about that shot from the way out in the bleachers of the pitcher and the batter. The pitcher and the batter are how far apart? 60 feet or so? Yeah. Looking at the guys, Terry. Nice. The pitcher is a lot closer to the camera than the batter, right? But we've seen that pitcher on television where, and if you look, next time you do this, next time you watch a game, you'll notice this. They're about the same size. As you shoot across the back of the pitcher towards the batter, they're about the same size. Now, how did they do that? That's the power of compression. I have to use two hands. Oh, it's going to get noisy.
We'll cut it out. Post.
Oh, post. Oh, that's meant. Ow. So let me show you. I want everyone to, hey, bring that back up. Okay, we're doing nothing technically right at all. Yeah, take your hand. I want you to put them about this far apart. Close one eye. I want you to look just through one eye. Everybody can do this. Close one eye, yeah. Take both of your fingers, like that, about that far apart, right? Oh, not that slide. Oh, it's the white screen. This one? Just like that, yeah. Okay? If you move that way down to the end right here, okay? Look at the forefinger, the one in the front as compared to the one in the back. It's about the same size, right? Relatively closing one eye. Now keep them the same distance apart and move them right into you. Whoa. You don't need bifocals, you can see that a whole lot better, but look how much bigger that finger got than that finger, right? Are you seeing it? Look in one eye. Same distance, but do that. That's exactly the power of compression. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Not? Yeah, I can't see a thing, yeah? Okay. So how does that, well, what does that do? The background, when you use a zoom lens, when you use a long lens, like what Jake's got on, you don't need one that long, but whatever lens you have, zoom all the way out. Or if you use a short lens, I'll just illustrate it that way. Use a short lens or zoom all the way in so that it goes wide. Then as you zoom in, the foreground is going to go bigger and the background is going to get smaller. Okay? So if I'm photographing the same Tara standing there, the city of Tulsa skyline's in the background over there. And I photograph her with the wide lens, okay? Then the background, I'm going to see a lot of the city of Tulsa in the background, okay? Because you can just do that and see I'm seeing a whole lot more. The background is much smaller than the foreground, okay? But if I want that background, Tara's still standing there and the city of Tulsa hasn't moved, but I want to bring that background much closer, use a telephoto lens, like that. And that and literally, stand with the camera and do that. If you have that ability to turn and watch that background just go, it's amazing, it's kind of cool. That's how you compress. So you've been to the mountains, another example, you've been to the mountains and, oh, yeah. Sorry, fingers are done. You've been to the mountains and you stand at the mountains and you go, wow, look at the grandeur of these mountains. So you take a picture and you get home and you go, well, that's not even what it looked like at all. It's because you're photographing typically with a wide angle lens. And we see in compression, but we view here in two dimension with a wide angle lens, everything is diminished. Does that make sense? So an application. So why do you need to know that? Let me give you an example. A booth over here at Sparkman Hustle next door. You want to be photographed with your booth. So I would stand you here. You would stand you here. If you backed up and zoomed in, your booth would be compressed so that that would come right into the background and make a much nicer image than if you were to walk right in against you and use a wide angle lens, again this way, and that background is going to go really wide. So depending what you want to do, but be careful of that and watch what you want to do, think about what you want to do, and do that with the camera lens. Try it sometime. Next time, not your cell phone, but another camera lens, and do that zoom, okay? So compression, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Gee, that I can't see because it's a dead room. Yeah. Another tip I'm going to give you, actually two in this, you'll have 5 altogether. Composition. Watch backgrounds. Again, this is something you can just apply. Yeah, I don't need that. This is just something you can apply to every day as well. Watch your background. I'll give you a perfect example. And I tried to find this on Facebook. My son had a buddy get married a few years ago, went on their honeymoon. Lovely looking man, lovely little bride, 22-year-old little bride and groom. Went somewhere and on the beach, and they took this picture of themselves standing knee deep in the surf, bathing suits, tanned on the beach somewhere. And great picture, and they posted it on Facebook. And just over there in the background, probably 60 feet away, 50 feet away, was an was a much older, apparently European in that not a lot of clothing covering what should have been, it was just a very strange looking couple in the background, just off their shoulder background there. And I wish I could find it because it was hilarious. And they've taken it down on Facebook because I posted, I said, wow, Nate, that's an awesome picture, congratulations, you guys are awesome. And it's so cool, you took a picture now and you took your 10-year anniversary picture. And they laughed and then they took it off. So watch your background. While I'm looking at, see, just take a minute to look at the telephone pole coming out of the head, that sort of thing. You can clean up an image very well. You can make it look so much more effective if you will watch your backgrounds, okay? And one last thing I want to talk about is blue sky syndrome, and that's, we're coming to the monkey, right?
Monkey?
Almost. Blue sky syndrome. Blue sky syndrome, in most of your in our cameras, we have a little bullseye in the center, right? And what we want to do, because we look at each other's eyes, we want to put that bullseye in the middle of the face. That's where we photograph. And so, if it is well, let's show the, whatever it was, chimpanzee or something.
Sure.
Boom, yeah. So we do that. There's the center of the image right here. This is where my little bullseye is on the camera, but I got a lot of blue sky, and yellow, but I've got blue sky and nothing here. I call this one shoot the gut. I mean, put that bullseye here rather than on the face. And when you do, next slide, a much more effective image. There's my center. There's my rule of thirds. If you turn that inverted, there's my rule of thirds, okay? So a much more effective image. And so often, all these are just little tips that you can use every day. And what happens is, I can say to you, do you like that image? And you say, you say yes. And if I said, before we talked, if I said, why do you like that image? Maybe you could, well you could, because you were watching me outside. You're a shooter. I can tell you were watching me outside. You may not tell me exactly, you may not know how to tell me why, but it has an emotional impact. Well, those things, watch your blue sky. Composition, rule of thirds, those kind of things make an image that makes it go, wow, you may not know why. Apply these rules. Now those are just, you can Google, if you wrote them down, you can Google that and get a lot more information. That's just a couple of tips to help you with some photography. Yeah? Thank you guys.